How about it, y'all? You got Hawg. Thanks for stopping by. I'm your 1987 Diablo champion. Alright, so we want to talk about some advanced ZBarbing. So a lot of y'all are picking up the ZBarb, and that's a good thing. But there's a lot of mistakes that are being made about ZBarbing, and so figured I'd make a little video and show you just little tips and tricks on how to be a better ZBarb, how to be a more advanced ZBarb. And to do that, we're going to show you an LOD bazooka where I was playing ZBarb. And I'm not saying I'm the best ZBarb in the world. I'm the example, the model, or whatever. But just felt like I could share some things that would make ZBarbing for guys that are a little bit newer to the class, make it a little bit easier. All right, so I want to point out what I'm using. And I'm going to clear this up. This is a recommendation that I have. Use sword and board, okay? Unless you're already an advanced level ZBarb, don't take the extra speed stuff because it makes your pull fall apart, right? Don't worry about fury. Everyone's worried that you're not going to have enough fury. When you get in that rift and you war cry and you start whirlwinding around and hitting these enemies, you're never going to run out of fury. Don't worry about it. Unless you're an advanced level ZBarb, don't worry about running Bullcathos or Little Rogue and Slanderer or any of those. Stick with the sword and board, okay? Oh, another thing to be aware of. Make sure you got keys. It's a good thing to keep about 100 keys on hand at all times. Especially if you're running with Necros or LOD Bazooka Wizards. They're going to fish real hard. So, keep some keys on you. Alright, here we go. So, as always, when everybody comes in, make sure to war cry and give everybody ignore pain. Do all your shouts, do all everything. Make sure everybody's got everything. Okay, that's what I just do. Your number one responsibility is ignore pain over everything else. And you got to remember there's a radius on ignore pain. So you have to be aware. Now, everybody needs to remember that the ZBarb, a competent, experienced, knowledgeable ZBarb, should be the leader of the run, okay? He's controlling the assembly of the pack. He's controlling the movement. He's controlling everything, okay? So let him lead. Follow the ZBarb, okay? Make sure you're close enough to him to get ignore pain and to make sure to get his war cry buffs and all. All right, so right there, let's see if I can back it up. You see, I came in, I built the pack. This is a really shitty pack, but it's a good example of what a lot of people are messing up on. Okay? The pack's here, even though these don't pull very well. I want to leave this pack and go get more. Okay? What a lot of people do, see there right there, a Furious charged out. A lot of people are just whirlwinding out. And what happens when you whirlwind out is you pull the whole damn pack out with you. If you Furious charge out like I just did there, you don't carry the whole pack, you leave the pack. So let's just back it up just a touch. So you come in, here's a little secret. I call it feathering your right click or whatever button you've got whirlwind assigned to. I like to feather. Click, 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 click. That way you're not going all over the place in a crazy tornado. It's a controlled woo, woo. You're just maintaining the pack. When you need to add more, you stomp. Okay? That's another little secret. Stomp the shit out of the pack at all times. They're not going to go anywhere if you're constantly stomping that ass into the ground. Okay? So stomp that ass and then Furious charge out. Furious charge. Boom. That way I didn't carry anything with me. Even though it's a shitty pack, it's a shitty example, it's a great example of Furious charging out. Alright, here's another important tip. When you've got a Conduit, remember that the support characters are going to have Conduit a lot longer than the damage dealers. So don't sit in an area as a ZBarb with a yellow. Okay? Don't just sit there with him. You need to move. If you can pull that yellow, assuming it's not a juggernaut, okay, if it's blues that can be pulled, any enemy that can be pulled, an elite, you need to pull him. So, like this, watch. There's an elite right here. I can pull him, so I'm going to drag him down with some more, and I'm still shocking him as I'm dragging him. So that's what you need to do if you're down to 1 elite and you need to move to get some more. Don't just waste that conduit just by sitting there. Drag that elite. You can shock his ass. You can make him ride the lightning while you're dragging him, and then pull him into another pack and have the trash killer hit him with some more trash to get some area damage. See, I'm coming in here. I'm assembling the pack. Now, a lot of supports have never played a trash killer, especially a wizard. So this is where it's very important. You cannot have stragglers, and sometimes this is really challenging, but you cannot have stragglers that leave the pack. Because what's going to happen is, like, right here, there's some, and there's one back here. What's going to happen is, that one straggler is going to seek out the wizard. It's real bad with a wizard. It's going to seek out the wizard, and it's going to hit his ass every opportunity that it can. And it's going to knock squirts off, which is going to make the damage go low, which is going to make the rift go slower. That's why it's your responsibility not to just endlessly whirlwind inside of the pack. You need to stomp, spin, stomp, spin. You need to be watching the pack, the outside, and make sure there's no stragglers leaving. That's why it's also important. Don't do too huge a pull. Don't do a pull that's uncontrollable. See here, I went up, grabbed some more trash, and I'm going to maintain it. There's stragglers, I'm going to pull them in. I'm going to come out, stragglers, pull them in. Now, if there's more trash that's funneling in, keep pulling them in. Okay? Pull them in. Stomp. Some yellows you can't pull. If you have an enemy you can't pull, it's an elite. You need to build the pack around that enemy. Here's our yellow right here. You need to build the pack around that yellow because you're not going to be able to do anything with him. So here's our yellow, and I'm going to try to build the pack around it the best that I can. Some of these don't pull. You see I'm furious charging out. Building the pack. But that's the main thing to remember, and a lot of guys forget this. A trash killer is all about area damage. So you need to have as much trash, which is why they call it a trash killer. You need to have as much trash packed in an area as possible. And you need to have everything tight, compressed, so that all their hit boxes are tight and all their collision boxes are tight. That's what you hear the word pixel pull. Okay, you can really dive in real deep with this stuff, but each enemy has a little circle around their pixel, okay? And that's basically when it hits another enemy's, it's called a collision box. When it hits another one of those, that's as tight as they can ever get on the screen. And each enemy has different size collision boxes and whatever. So the more enemies that you can pack tight and get all their collision boxes tight, when that meteor comes or that death nova comes or whatever the trash killer's using, it will allow that area damage to spread to everything. And that's your secret. So if you notice that you're a ZBarb, you're playing with some guys, and the damage is not doing well, you need to make sure that everything is tight and stomped. Okay, stomp is the big secret. It's the key to maintaining a pack at all times. Stomp. And if your cooldown is like it should be, you should have almost unlimited stomp. You should be able to just use it all the time. All right, now, pack management. You need to be constantly having a good amount of trash in a pack, okay? So you see here, I went, in this particular situation, we're under a shield pylon, okay? The wizard is in Archon, and he needs more stacks. So what I did was, I left this pool right here. I stomped them, and then I went and found some more trash. So you see I got the trash, and I'm pulling it back to this other pool that I have, okay? So that's a big thing, is your job is to maintain the pool and know when it's acceptable for you to leave and go get more trash. Communication is key. You have to communicate. You have to let everybody know when you're on your cycle. And if you communicate, you'll have a really good clear time. But anyway, I'm coming back to the pack. Okay, the first thing you notice is the pack's a little sloppy when I get here. We're going to maintain that the second we get in. And the other thing that we're going to do is make sure everybody's got ignore pain, because I've been gone for more than 10 seconds. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to give everybody ignore pain, I'm going to come in, stomp, and just make sure. See, as soon as I got the pack tight and stomped, The wizard came down, and everything's nuked. Okay, the wizard hit their meteors. Everything's dead. We built around the yellow. Okay, so we just applied everything that I've talked about into one pull. We built around the yellow. We added trash. We controlled the pack. We stomped it, and we applied Ignore Pain. And look at the hit we just got. Boom. Now, for the Rift Guardian, you still have a big responsibility. It's not just stomp, Ignore Pain. This is where game knowledge comes in pretty important here, okay? If you're not aware of the boss types, if they can spawn additional monsters, if they can spawn trash, or if they jump, or if they do a toxic fart cloud that takes over the whole map, this is where playing with advanced level players really helps your knowledge. So if you need help, if you need a clan to run with, Plebs for Life, Diablo 3, links in the description for our Discord. You can use those tools, join us. It's pretty badass. We got awesome players and we got brand new players, all levels, okay? You get in a group like this and you learn what they're going to do. So as a ZBarb, if you have, so we have a witch doctor. If you have a witch doctor or, well, hell, any RGK besides dual wizards, you're going to have to pull these ads that a boss will spawn. You're going to have to pull them out of the way. So you're going to have the trash killer set up in an area away from the boss. And you're going to have to pull whatever ads that he spawns that you're actually able to pull, right? Pull those away and give them to the trash killer. And the reason for that is your Rift Guardian killer is always single target. So like with these spiders, if this boss is going to spawn additional monsters, those spiders are going to eat everything around instead of just focusing on the Rift Guardian. Same with Impale, same with Army of the Dead, okay? You don't want that damage split. You want it going straight to the Rift Guardian, and you want all the ads pulled off. So that's another additional responsibility that you've got on top of all of the other list of stuff you got to do. So now when we're here, we're going to come in, stomp, prevent him from moving, okay? And then if he's got ads, we're going to move the ads off. We're also going to make sure that our Rift Guardian killer has Ignore Pain. So coming in, we're stomping. Looks like this one's going to be okay. We're going to make sure that there's no ads. And that's it. Sometimes you can get lucky with a single target and not have to worry about too much, except for keeping the mob boss in place, okay? And that's it. Now, there's a couple variations with a necromancer, okay? Alright, so apologize for the not so great quality on this one here, but couple things to note about Necro. Constant communication, again, is key. The ZBarb is required to stomp right before the physical cycle of the Necro, because that's how Crisbins and a couple other things work, okay? So the enemies need to be stunned for the damage boost to happen. And again, same with Wizard Trash Killer, needs to be packed tight for the area damage. But it's best to move. So you need 25 monsters in a pack them tight, hit on the cycle. You need to be in constant communication, and you need to move together. So you need to, as ZBarb, you need to be building a pack or have it ready by the time that your Necro comes up and is in his cycle. So you need to have it ready, stomp, Necro comes in, boom, nukes, move on to the next one. So he's got the pack ready. He just pulled him in, stomped. I've told him about my cycle. Here I come. Boom, stomp, nuke. There you go. Keep moving. Once you hit below what you think might be 25 enemies, you got to move on, because you got to have 25 enemies in a pack with a necromancer. And you have to communicate. I can't stress that enough. Running with a necro is a little different. And on the Rift Guardian, so let's fast forward. I'll show you the Rift Guardian. All right, so this is a good example of what I was talking about. If the Rift Guardian spawns ads, I'm playing Traghouls here, and the ZBarb is feeding me ads. Okay, see this Rift Guardian is spawning ads. Now, you saw the Army of the Dead right there, that bell. The Rift Guardian killer has to communicate to the ZBarb, same with the Trash Killer, okay? Hey, I'm about to be on my cycle, I need you to stomp. So you need him to stomp before you go to hit Army of the Dead. So stun that ass, and then Army of the Dead hits as long as there's no ads. So that's another thing you have to remember as a Z-Barb. You have to stomp for that to do damage with necromancers. So keep that in mind. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. That's some advanced level tactics for you. Apply those. So learn these, apply these. It'll make you a better Z-Barb. Then you'll have more people wanting you to get in a group. Because I'm going to be honest with you, a good Z-Barb can make or break the game. If you have a shitty Z-Barb, it doesn't matter how good the players are, the riffs are going to suck. And you can tell a shitty Z-Barb by everybody wondering what's wrong. That's the tale right there. So study this, get good, practice. One way to get really good at pulls is to pop a cow level. Do a T16 cow. You're not going to kill them, and you're not going to die. So just go through there and round them up and practice. Try pulling the whole map. See if you can hold that pull. That will make you a really good Z-Barb. And play with people. Play with a clan. Like I said earlier, if you need a clan, Plebs for Life, Diablo 3, we are recruiting. We have 80 active members. And we have a badass Discord, the House for Hawg. It's in the link below in the description there. So hit like, hit subscribe if you like this content. I hope this helps you out. And let me know in the comments if I missed something, or if you've got an advanced level tactic that I didn't cover. We can always learn from each other. We'll see you next time.